say, Mary, Gran said, shaking her head and smiling at me. Bethlehem is an old friend in Toronto. Toronto? Canada? I echoed. Gran had often received letters with Toronto as the return address, but I had never thought to ask about her correspondent, nor had she volunteered any information. I would very much like you to come with me to see her, Gran added. May I? I turned quickly to my father. He was frowning down at his plate, marshalling a pile of breadcrumbs with the flat of his knife. Father? After a pause, he looked up, straight at his mother, my Gran. Is she sick again? My grandmother nodded, and the shadow of some deep sadness flickered across her face. She thinks we should write it all down before she gets much worse, she mused. I think I agree. Curiosity was inching me to the edge of my chair, no matter how reserved and temperate I wanted to be. Gran, who is it? Who's sick? I'll let you decide for yourself who she is, she replied, standing up abruptly. The train for Toronto leaves at 8 in the morning. I was dumbfounded. Gran was suggesting we leave tomorrow, at the drop of a hat, to pay an unannounced visit to someone I did not know. I wondered what Amy would say. But I wanted to go. Mary is expected for tea at the Reverend Brown's tomorrow, Mother said from the doorway. He is from one of the finest families in New York City. And Bethlehem Reed is one of the finest women in the world, my grandmother said, her back straight and stubborn. I have invited Mary to visit her. Mother's face colored. An old slave? Mother Emmons, I hardly think... She broke off as Father shook his head. With a frown, she turned and fussed with the gas lamp. A slave? I whispered. My grandmother took my shoulder in a sudden grip. She's not a slave, Mary. She is not. Her fierceness deepened my confusion. I wasn't to understand what my grandmother was talking about for some time. It took the long train ride to Toronto, meeting Bethlehem Reed, and helping Gran and Bethlehem write their story down, before I knew what she meant. Not just that Bethlehem was no longer in bondage, but that she truly never had been. And my grandmother, Suzanna McKnight Emmons, had good reason to know that, too. When she began her history on the train, however, I was far from recognizing the truth.
Winter, 1855. Suzanna. I think you know, Mary, that I was born on a small farm near Bennington, Vermont. I lived there as puppies and colts do, without knowing there was any way of living except joyfully, any way of being except loved and protected, until my parents were killed. The thaw was treacherous that February, coming suddenly as it did. The ice on our pond gave way beneath them as they held hands and pointed to the hills. I saw this from the window of my bedroom, where I was confined with the grip. They were gone before I reached the stairs. I remember that it didn't seem to me the fire in the sugar house could still be smoking, or the hens in the barn still complaining about the cold, without my parents there to see it and make it go on, day by day. My grip rapidly worsened to pneumonia from clutching at the broken ice in only my night shift, and I was in a fever for many days. When I awoke on the 7th day, my parents were in the ground, and my uncle was waiting to take me to Virginia. The fever and the suddenness of my parents' deaths had left me weak and uncertain. I walked and sat and ate and lay down, not knowing if the earth would be changed when I woke up, if the clouds would be on fire, or water turned to grasshoppers in my cup. It seemed to me that if my parents could be gone so suddenly, anything might happen. So 3 days of traveling might as well have been 3 weeks. I did not know.